Hi, everybody.
Hi.
It's Kim.
And Jennifer.
And we're the owners of the Fleece and Harmony Woolen Mill in Belfast, Prince Edward Island. And you're joining us for our knitting podcast and farm update.
Yeah.
And whatever else place we go to rambling.
And today it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So we've got all kinds of ROWAN, like a big shop update with books and patterns. And I think the shop update is going to be quite something. We've got our farm update as usual, and we've got an event to talk about that you already know about. And of course, we've got whips. No rips.
Are you kidding?
No, yeah, but not really.
No,
like
I had to
disaster.
cut it apart.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So rips.
Technically, I cut it.
Rips, an FO, and that's it. Ask us. We've got a couple questions that we're going to answer, and I think that's everything.
Okay, good.
So the first thing is always the farm update. Mm-hmm. So we have weaned lambs, sort of.
Mm-hmm. They're cute. They're happy.
Yeah, they're happy. Yeah, the other thing that we did, which is completely off the charts, is that we just left the lambs with the mums. But because they've got lots of room, what's happening now is basically the mums are running away from the lambs, and the lambs sneak a little nuzzle under the ewes. And our bottle lambs are weaned, though.
Right, because what did we discover the year that the two broke through the fence to be with their mother when we weaned everybody else at 12 weeks like you're supposed to?
I don't know. What did we learn?
The ones that stayed with their mother were like 10 times healthier.
Yes. No stress in their lives.
They were robust.
Yeah, and it really, as long as there's lots of food for the mums and they don't have to recover from the high, because it is a high tax on their bodies
on
to be producing
too.
On the mums. Yeah, on the mums. So as long as the ewes are all fat and in good shape, then we're convinced it doesn't really hurt anything to leave them in there.
I think they're capable of weaning them themselves.
Yes, the lambs can be persistent.
As any mother would.
But the ewes can run fast.
Eventually, at some point.
Yes.
You've had enough,
Get
I would
off.
imagine.
Yes.
Not that I've ever done it.
Yes. So that's good. And literally when we used to wean lambs in the barn, like separating the group, so 100 lambs on one side of the barn and the 50 ewes on the other side of the barn, you could hear them screaming at each other from about a half a mile away.
Yeah, well, we can certainly hear the cattle down the road too when weaning day is. We know.
Exactly.
For sure.
We know.
No
so it's necessary sometimes it's necessary, but it's also necessary for the health of the mum sometimes, because it is, like I said, it is a big nutritional toll on them. But if you don't have to do it, then why would you?
Yeah.
Another one of those things.
I can tell Hannah just farted and now she needs to move positions on the couch.
Is that what she's doing?
Yeah.
Great.
It smells over there now.
Okay. We can't smell it, thank goodness. Great.
I can't smell it.
What?
I can smell it.
You can? Oh, yeah,
I have the nose of a mother. I know.
Yes. Lovely. All right. So we do have a mill update, though. We had a big Carter refit.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was shut down for 2 days.
Yes, the Carter was shut down for 2 days. And we were having some challenges before the Carter actually got shut down, because we were like, batches were not turning out the way we wanted to, so we had to put them aside and things. And then finally we just nobody could figure out what was happening, but it was that the Carter needed to be.
Was that not before last episode?
I don't think so.
Oh, I feel like maybe we talked about it, but
did we
see that the mini mills were in helping us with our equipment?
Well, maybe, but now it's done.
Okay.
Might have been 3 weeks ago. Anyway, everything is back. We finally, so Clyde the barn cat is now looking at us in the window.
Every animal is participating.
Yes.
I wish I had a phone. I'd take her. Yeah, and she's crying.
Yeah, but she doesn't actually cry. She just goes like that. She doesn't make a sound. Yeah, it's
hilarious.
Perfect. Yeah.
You see what she does? You've tamed her, and now she comes to my place and tries to get in.
Oh, she is crying now. Yeah. I can hear her. Do you want me to let her in?
Let her in here?
No. I don't want her to be eaten by your giant dog. Yeah. I'm going to go let the cat in.
Okay.
And we'll be back. The barn cat.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right.
Very good. Well,
So
we
we're
hate
back.
for Clyde the barn cat to suffer any hardship.
Yeah, at 11 degrees Celsius outside. Good thing I live literally 2 doors away. 2 doors down. What is it? 2 doors down. They're laughing and drinking and having a party. 2 doors down.
I don't know that one.
You really?
No.
Oh,
Never heard of it.
okay.
But my dog couldn't stand to be outside either.
No.
Okay. Whatever, animals.
Okay, so so all's right with the world in the mill.
Yeah.
We're moving.
Janet was so happy.
Really?
Like me.
Yes. Who? Janet?
Carter.
Oh, the Carter. Yes,
Yeah.
Janet, our Carter helper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so it was like a retrofit kind of thing that they did. So that's it. All right. So now form update. I put that on there.
Yes. Where is that?
Where what?
It says where to find the
Yes.
Rowan newsletter link.
Yes.
Where is that?
Where is it? So if you go on our website and on the top menu, you click Rowan. When the Rowan window opens, there's a little sentence right under the Rowan logo that says click here for the newsletter if you want to subscribe to the newsletter.
Okay.
So
Very good.
that's where it is.
Okay.
Okay.
And we are going to try to add it with the other newsletter link at some
Yeah.
point, but we haven't done
But
that
in
yet.
fact, it's already there. I didn't even know where it was.
Yeah.
So that's
Now
it.
we both know.
Yeah.
All right, so that's good. So join the Rowan newsletter because we send
Yeah.
out Rowan-specific deals and updates and little special things and
Right.
highlights and whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
Last week we sent out a kit for the rain sweater from the
Yes.
new Nordic unisex collection.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
They didn't last long.
No, they didn't last long. We're gonna try. We're gonna try to keep up with that.
Yeah.
All right. So if you love Rowan and you want to know what's going on in our Rowan world, then that's
The
where you
Rowan
find it.
newsletter.
Again,
Okay.
so it's on the menu at the top. It says Rowan in red. Click on that. Rowan window opens, and if you look down under where the logo of Rowan is, there's a sentence there that says, "Want to find out what's happening with Rowan?" Something like that.
Yeah.
Click here.
But
That's
it
where you
is
find
actually in the show notes every single week, as
Yes.
well, or every single episode as well. So
Yeah.
you can also find where to sign up in the show notes. Okay.
Right.
So before we go on to the event
Right.
that we're going to talk about next, I was going to show a little bit of footage from my foray into the Cape Breton Highlands
Oh,
2
okay.
weekends ago.
Okay.
So I went and we were supposed to be camping, but all the campgrounds were closed.
Right.
Because COVID.
Right.
Even the national park could not get in. So we ended up staying in a hotel, which was very nice. And we did a lot of hiking. We actually did a hike each day.
Yeah.
And we hiked to a lovely waterfall called...
How sportsy of you.
It was so sportsy. I mean, I was sportsing it up with the best of them.
All right. I
Yeah.
can see that.
There's one called Egypt's Falls, and it was quite steep and crazy. There were ropes and things to get down. And I got about the third of the way down, and a woman came up and was like, "I'm dying." It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this sounds like fun, but it was pretty crazy, and it's not an official hike. Like, there's no, people just put the ropes there like random helpful people. It's not like a...
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah,
not like part of the.
No, it's not a park or anything.
They got
It's
tired
like-
of going down trying to rescue people.
Yeah, it's like a backwoods kind of deal, but it's absolutely stunning. So I'm just going to show a little video about that now.
Okay.
So, as you can see, the Cape Breton Highlands in the fall, if you're coming to the island in the fall, which we do encourage you to do because it's one of the best times to come. Stunning.
That's Cape Breton Island, not
Cape Breton
Prince Edward
Island. And our island.
Yeah, our island
both.
is the same.
You do the loop. You do Prince Edward Island and Cape Breton Island.
Yeah.
And I have been there, we've been there.
Mm-hmm. Our grandmother lived there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many times we've done the Cabot Trail.
Hundreds.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yet, it never fails to just
impress. Mm-hmm. I know.
Never. And I haven't done it much during like the whole Celtic colors. I've done it more in the summer.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's stunning.
It's incredible actually because the mainland of Nova Scotia is super flat. So how this little piece just broke off and is like this mountainous, like old mountain beauty. And in fact, a lot of the leaves had already blown off.
Oh, okay.
Like there was a lot of red missing. It was mostly orange and yellow. Like I think if there was red maple in there, they were done already.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, and you cannot capture it on film or video or anything, not by a long shot. So it's
world class for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like it was beautiful. So plan that, put that in your bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very good.
Good. All right. And in moving to another island.
Right. Newfoundland.
A lot
of islands out this way.
Yeah. We're the land of the islands. Yeah. So we wanted to talk a little bit about our saltwater event with Christine Legrow and Shirley Scott, who are the authors of the Saltwater Mittens, Saltwater Classics, and Saltwater Gifts, which we've talked about before. So once again, we have this event planned for November 12th, which is a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And this time it is in the evening, and there's the two components. There's for people that are able to travel here live, there's the dinner with a dessert, and then there's the event after with Christine and Shirley. So people have been asking about the times. So we didn't realize that we were saying Atlantic Standard Time, but in fact the time changes before we get to the event.
Nightmare.
It's a nightmare. So
we're going to fall behind and then
whatever. So the easiest way to think about it is that people think that Eastern time zone is our time zone.
No.
It's not. Eastern time zone is Toronto, all the way down the eastern seaboard of the U.S., New York,
Florida,
all the way to Florida. That is an hour behind us. Yes.
Yeah.
So when it's
4:30 there,
it's
5:30 here. So you're going to be wanting to log in at 5:30 if you're logging in virtually because the presentation starts at 6:30.
Yeah, see, now we've confused them again.
But there are apps for doing this.
Yes, and I think your ticket gives you the time zone in your area.
Right.
Because there's no place to change the time.
Right.
So once we enter the time of the event in our local time zone, there's no way, you can't change anything about it. So I think that Eventbrite, which is the app that we're using to manage the tickets, makes the adjustment for you. So
I would hope so, because that's kind of their business.
Yeah. So if you're in Toronto or like in Ontario and down the eastern seaboard of the U.S., our event starts at what is 6:30 our time, and that would be 5:30 your time.
Yeah.
After that, further west, you're on your own.
It'll be earlier.
But yeah, it'll be earlier. So that's the way. And if you're in Newfoundland, it's a half hour later, but you know what time it is.
You're used to converting time zones if you're
east of us.
Yeah,
you're east
they
of
go
us.
again. I mean, it's amazing that we have our own time zone. I think that's what they're like, how can those three little islands possibly have their own time zone?
Yeah.
But we do.
Yeah,
We're Atlantic,
exactly.
not Eastern.
Right.
And as somebody pointed out the other day, Ontario isn't even in the East.
Yes.
But they're in the Eastern time zone.
Right. It's
Good
very
job,
confusing.
whoever designed that.
So luckily Eventbrite looks after all that.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you should be good, but people did miss it last time.
Yes.
Maybe don't overthink it then.
Yeah.
Look at the time zone that's listed on your ticket and see if it's yours.
Yeah.
To start with.
Exactly. So they were having the full. We had virtual knit night on Monday, and it was funny because we talked about the event that we're having, because the dinner that we're serving is a traditional Newfoundland boiled dinner which they call a JIGG'S dinner. And we always have been saying that it's corned beef that's on it.
Which it is in the cookbook that the recipe's coming from.
Yeah. So it's called corned beef, but it's not corned beef like you're thinking if you don't live in the Maritimes.
It's salted beef.
Yes.
But we talked about this with the pickling spice last time.
Right.
The funny thing is Joanne was in the store on the weekend and we were talking. She came in to buy the cookbook.
Right.
Which we have, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
And we were laughing about like if the corned beef is actually like got the pickling spice in it instead of salt, and we were
pastrami,
like,
yeah,
and
basically.
I was like, well, the sous chef is from Newfoundland, so if he gets it wrong, like we're seriously, do I need to call him? And she was like, well, he's going to be shamed from the building, like we'll be throwing the cooked chunks of brisket at him, as he's running from the building if he gets it wrong,
because good salted beef, which we call corned beef here, is not that easy to find. So, and we have access to good stuff. So,
and where is that? At Cooper's.
Yeah,
it's
Cooper's has a secret corned beef, but I'm not sure if that's where the Red Shores is going to source it from. But they're going to get the good one. Yeah, we're going to make sure that it's the right stuff.
I had some of the secret buns this week. I'll have you know.
Oh, did you ask for them?
I don't know how they just materialized in my kitchen.
Oh.
I think my boyfriend got them.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, secret buns?
Yeah.
Where are you from here?
Yeah, okay. They're good, aren't they?
I think it's the secret buns. They're lovely if you put them in the oven and then warm them up.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Little round ones like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the secret buns. Yeah. So there's also the secret corned beef.
And the secret bacon.
Yeah.
As we all know.
Yeah. So we're adding to the repertoire. There's no more secrets.
I know for the summer there was secret charcoal.
Yes. If you were in the know. Pays to be a local.
Right. Jeez.
Anyway, so if you're interested and you're in the Atlantic bubble, or you're visiting here from other places and you've gone through your whole isolation and self-isolation and everything, and it's going to be worth it to come for the dinner if you haven't had
I'm so excited.
Kind of a traditional dinner.
But there was quite the dust up at Knit Night, which was so much fun this week, and we had almost 70 people.
Yeah.
So if you've been missing virtual Knit Night, you should really join in next time.
Yeah, it was really good.
We had a blast. Mm-hmm. And there was our one Newfoundland guest was adamant that it would be called salt beef.
Yeah.
But it's called corned beef in the cookbook, Jen.
Yeah.
So let's discuss.
Yeah.
So it could be that they've adopted corned beef because that's what everybody calls it.
Yes.
But this was originally published in 1958.
Yes.
Anyway, it's in here on page 76-ish.
Yeah.
And it's just the most amazing cookbook because everything is like 3 lines long.
Yes. And with ingredients that were readily available in a place which the outports of Newfoundland are still somewhat isolated. Yeah. But back in the 50s, they would have been very isolated.
Like, talk about making something from nothing.
Yeah. There's a lot of recipes in this book. It's published by the same publisher that publishes the Saltwater trio of books.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely fascinating. More than 3,200 names are listed in the back of contributors to the cookbook. So they contributed different recipes. There's not 3,200 recipes in here. No. There's a lot, but there's not 3,200.
There's a ton. And I love like the white cake, gold cake, never fail cake.
Yeah.
Which would you choose?
Yeah. Well, it's whatever you had the stuff for.
Tricky, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just think this is amazing.
There's a cake in there that's similar to one our grandmother used to make called war cake because it was eggless, flourless, and I don't know what's in it.
Right.
Fruit and dried fruit and hope.
Yeah, hope. Yeah, basically, or a lack thereof.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Treasury of Newfoundland Dishes. So we're listing this.
Yes.
You can buy them.
Yeah.
And
we got 50 copies.
Of course, the gingerbread recipe is in this, but do not despair.
Yeah.
We'll be sending the gingerbread recipe and the icing recipe out, or well, it's a sauce.
Yeah.
To everyone who buys a ticket to the event.
So the publisher has given us the rights to send out that recipe.
Yeah. And
which is more than 100 years old.
Again, like a discount code that could basically cover the cost of what you pay to join the event. So do consider joining us because everybody had a blast at the Arne Carlos one.
So we're going to send out the gingerbread recipe, and Christine Legrow has shared the hard sauce recipe, which is made with screech, not rum.
That's going to be tricky for y'all to find.
Maybe. Or, maybe your local
Moonshine.
corner store has a secret screech stash. I don't know.
Secret moonshine.
We can get it here, but I'm not sure if
secret moonshine. Is there any other kind?
Yeah. Anyway, it's quite something. So we'll send that recipe so you can have the complete meal deal. I guess you could substitute rum if you had to, but you'll have the complete. I don't know if they ship.
Everyone has
Screech.
some kind of version of moonshine or something.
Yeah. It's not really moonshine. I think they might be insulted if we called it moonshine.
Oh, really?
I
What
don't
is
know.
it? We don't know.
We don't know what it is. It's just screech.
Well, I'm just suggesting something that might
Yeah.
have the same local kind of
Flavor.
cachet.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be salted. Oh my god.
I don't even know how they make it, actually.
There are other things I could call
So
it that
next
would be worse.
episode will be before the event. No.
No.
After.
This is the last one.
This is the last one. So we'll have to update you after the event about where Screech actually comes from.
Yeah, and we're going to be sitting here so excited.
Yeah.
because I just know we're going to have a blast.
Yeah,
I'm so
it'll
excited.
be really
okay.
fun. Okay. And I think that if you're hesitating and you're in a position where you can come live and you're thinking, who am I going to go with? And your significant other maybe is not a knitter and you think they won't be interested, I think it's still going to be fun for everybody.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would take a chance.
We'll be there with our significant others.
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
there'll be guys there.
Yeah. Or significant others. All right. So that's it. So now I think we should get to the link in the show notes
To buy
tickets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the cookbook.
Yeah. And there's no limit to the number of people that we can have virtually, but we'll be practicing safe social distancing, and there's a public health plan for the venue
Right.
if you're live, so no worries there.
Okay. And everybody felt so relaxed and happy last time.
Yes, and PEI, I don't even want to say it in case we jinx it, but we're still in really good shape. I think we
Yeah.
have one person that's self-isolating now that was tested positive, but we're still in the case where we have had nobody in the hospital. So we're super
it anymore.
lucky.
It's that boring.
Yeah, well, luckily
Yeah.
it's boring. So we're very thankful it's boring.
Right.
All right, so now we're going to talk about whips and rips.
Very good.
And I think, you don't really want to talk about your ripping before we get to finished objects, or do you want to do finished objects first so you can talk about your ripping?
Oh, I forgot it was an FO.
Right.
I was like, why she forgot it?
Right.
No. Yeah. Okay. Do your stuff.
Okay. So, so my Huxley progress, I had to give an emergency room update on my little minor surgery that I had on my
I
backside.
think at our age we're supposed to call it a procedure.
A procedure, yes. Those undefined minor procedures.
That's another line from that Billy Crystal movie, the Western one with Jack Palance.
Oh, city slickers?
Yeah, you'll call it a procedure.
Yes. Okay. So I had a little procedure. So yeah, and I'm fine. So the test came back. It was a mole. It was a mole that I had, a nasty looking mole that I had removed, which was called a blue nevus. I never heard of it.
Oh God, do they want to hear the actual name?
Yeah,
of it?
that's the
Okay.
name of it.
Ugh.
So
Yuck.
yeah, they're a little sketchy, but
Okay.
it's safe. There's no problem. But I did have stitches. So our doctor is on paternity leave, so I think his wife just had a baby. Yeah, she must have had it already, I guess. So they're sending people just to the emergency room is right next door to our doctor's office. So they're sending people there to see the doctor that's on call there to get little things done if you didn't want to drive into town to the walk-in clinic. So I just didn't, take advantage and go to the emergency room to get stitches out. Although I was there for 5 hours, so I should have. Ken offered to take them out for me in the barn. I should have just.
We could probably do that.
Yes, I should have just taken him up on it.
Yeah.
But I did want to get the results from the biopsy too. So anyway, so I was there, and everybody said afterwards I was way too patient. But really, there were people coming in that really did have emergencies. So I was knitting on my Huxley while I was there. And there was quite the variety of things that came through. So I just thought during the triage, that was all more important than me getting my stitches out. So I was sitting there, but I was there at 8 a.m. And when it got to be 1, one of the questions they ask you is, have you passed out in the last 3 months? So I actually went up to the nurse at the check-in station and I said, if you ask me in a half an hour if I've passed out in the next 3 months or last 3 months, the answer is going to be yes, because I'm starving, but I don't want to leave because I've been sitting here for 5 hours. And if I get up and they call my name, then I'm not going to be very happy. She said, well, why are you still here? That's a really good question.
Is this one of those self-serve stitches?
Yes.
Places?
Yeah, that's a good question. Anyway, everybody was mortified because they basically forgot about me. There was a lot of...
And yet you were in a tiny waiting room all by yourself.
I know. But there was kind of a lot of... I wasn't angry. I was just going to literally pass out because I was hungry, because I also didn't eat breakfast, because I usually eat breakfast at 10, around, right before we go out to the mill at 10 o'clock. So... Anyway, they were mortified. The doctor was like, oh my God, we're so sorry.
I actually thought you were gone somewhere else and I had just forgotten what you told me, what you were doing for the day.
No. And it literally took him...
I don't dare ask because I'm sure she told me and I've just forgotten.
Yeah, it literally took him a minute and a half to take out the stitches.
I definitely could have done it.
Yeah, but you didn't have my test result.
No.
So that was
probably
really...
call for those.
Yes, I could have called for those. So anyway, I wasn't really... I when it got to be 5 hours, I was starting to get a little antsy, but I was happy to be sitting there knitting. I'm glad I didn't forget my knitting.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
And then you'd be savage.
Then I would have been just a little...
Someone would have had to bring it to you.
Just a little pissy.
Right.
If I had forgotten my knitting. But because I don't necessarily have time to knit just in big stretches like that, I wasn't really complaining.
Right.
So
it was time well spent.
Yes, and I had my new project bag with me, which is not our project bag, but supporting our friends, Arne and Carlos. Look how cute it is.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's very good. So I had that. People were asking me about it.
Really?
Yeah. So if you want one, you can go see their website. It's very well made. It's like unbleached cotton and very sturdy.
Nice. Sweater
size.
Right.
For the right kind of sweater. So here's Huxley. And I think with the last episode, I think I mentioned this. I have a little stitch where the Kidsilk Haze, I missed a stitch, so I have to tack it in. That's become my progress. Shoot, my progress keeper, and it's way down here somewhere. So I actually did get quite a bit knit. Okay. I'm about 9 rows away from starting to do the shaping, like the very beginning of the shaping. So just to recap, I am... Okay.
Oh yeah, I found that.
Where was it?
Stitch marker fell out. It's on your couch.
Oh,
I don't think I brought it with me.
Okay, so it was at the end.
I might have put it on your coffee table.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. All right, that's fine.
Oh, I see, because you're going in a circle, that's why. Okay,
yes,
I get it
now.
So
if it fell off, then it's because...
at the end. It fell off. I saw it on the cushion.
Okay.
You're good.
All right, so
I'm
we're
sure
good.
There's one around here somewhere.
Well, no, it's okay. It's just that if it fell... So my trick was, as I mentioned last time, I've got the front and the back all on my circular needles. And I started knitting back and forth on one side because it gets kind of confusing because they're both exactly the same. So my little trick is that I have a stitch marker in the middle.
So let me just get this straight. So now that you're knitting it sort of in a circle, 2 pieces at once, are you able to knit rather than return and purl as you would if
No, you still have to purl. It's like knitting in the flat.
Right, because you don't have a break here. Okay, yeah,
exactly.
Okay. For a minute there,
but you can see
you could have done that and steeked it.
Yeah, yes. I could have made 2 steeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Okay.
But you see how it could get confusing.
Yeah.
So what side am I on?
Once you make a circle with the needles,
yeah, exactly. So the last time I was really at the end and the stitch marker was here. So I know that I have to pass the stitch marker. So I'm going in this direction because I have to slip the stitch marker. And then when I don't have a stitch marker, I'm at the end.
Okay. So your yellow stitch marker was on your couch cushion.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So, so this is really, I find it's going quite fast, but what I have to admit is that I'm a slow knitter. I'm not really that fast. And it is just a little bit, you want to be a little bit careful because it's easy to not pick up the Kidsilk Haze strand when you're knitting this.
Same as with the Sunday.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem in the Sunday cardigan. Did you? Yeah. So that's just I'm just taking my time. I'm not in a big rush. Although I think I did say something like I bet you I could finish it. So now just to recap, this is the front and the back. Ready to start the decreases for the arm shaping in about 9 to 10 rows, and I already have one sleeve done.
So will you be doing that shaping both on the same needles, or will you take one off and then keep it straight?
I'm gonna keep it straight. I think I can do it.
I would definitely end up with the armpits facing the wrong way.
The only time, yes,
you'll
see later. Yeah. So I might regret it. I don't know, but that's my plan. And the only time that I'm going to start going back and forth, I'll leave the other side on the needle. I'll just go back and forth, is because you have to. The neck shaping is different in the front than in the back. So I bet. Yeah. So I'm going to have to figure out, because I think the instructions say something like 16 rows less than the back. Start the neck shaping on the front.
Of course it does.
So I'm going to have to figure that out. But I have measured my gauge, so I know how many rows per centimeter and the whole thing. So I'm pretty confident.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I did panic just a little bit when I saw that my stitch marker wasn't here. Okay, so that's that.
I wasn't sure how it got off, but I didn't realize it would have necessarily been on the end, or I would have put it back on for you. But I was like, I'm not dealing with that.
No. And if
it fell off in the middle, I'm not responsible.
Yeah. All right. So then there's my Paisley, and that is moving along, and I'm so happy because I'm finally knit through all the yarn that I unraveled.
That's
and I'm
on fresh
feeling. Yes, and it's so much nicer unknit.
Okay. Well, not to mention the fact that you've now progressed past where you were last time.
Yes, so look at those lovely balls from my Nosta pin.
Nosta pins, okay.
Yeah, so because knitting with the crinkly yarn is not really great, I have to say. But
I think it's more just like the angst of the reminder of the fact that you're still not...
And it's kind of crinkly. This is nice and smooth, and I like it better.
And you could have rinsed it.
I know, I could have done that, but it was already heartbreaking enough that I took the whole thing out. So, and everything is going according to plan because I've run out of the yarn that I unraveled, but I'm not to the same spot where I was when I unraveled it. So it's obviously bigger.
Yeah, it looks smaller. It must be quite a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really pleased with the tension. And that's the last thing I was going to mention about my Huxley. It's like miles of stockinette stitch, but I've learned a lot about my tension on both hands, like knitting and purling and stuff. So, or not both hands, but with knitting and purling. And I think it's a really good, it was a valuable exercise on that, keeping your tension.
To speed up your purling too.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of stockinette in the flat. It's like a really nice way to get, like purling doesn't even bother me anymore. I've done so much of it now, it's not even a thing.
Yeah, that's right. So I get why people like to do it in the round because knitting is still definitely easier. But I was in the first sleeve that I did, did have a little bit of rowing out on the purl side, but I fixed that now. Like I can keep my tension. It's really quite even. I measured it in all different places because I just didn't want to say that it looks like it's better. And I have the empirical evidence that it's much better. So I'm really happy with that. So we're going to just do like a little close up on what I'm going to explain next because I think it's really important. Is this pattern actually uses purl stitches this is in the round with steeking, so you're only knitting, but there is purl stitches inserted at the side on the side seam, and it just says decrease. Because I'm doing the decreases now because it's the bottom up. So I'm doing the waist shaping with the decreases and it just says decrease. So when I see decrease for shaping, I always do either a right leaning decrease and a left leaning decrease depending on what side I'm on. And I'm just going to show you a little bit of a close up and explain how you can get a nice finish with that. So you're not all willy-nilly. Nobody would be able to tell from social distancing that you didn't do what I'm about to explain, but I think it's satisfying to have it like finished
Okay, perfect.
So we're going to demonstrate a couple little things here when we do this. So in this pattern, I have to decrease, there's a purl stitch running down the side to create a faux side seam, and that's marked with these two markers. So I have to do decreases because this is a bottom up sweater. I'm doing decreases to the waist shape for the waist shaping. I've just marked where two of them were here with these, the Coconuts opening stitch markers. So I'm going to pull them out so you can see a little bit more clearly what's happening. So what I want, just as a kind of a finishing aspect of this, is I want my decreases to lean into the seam. So on the right side of the seam, I want the decreases to lean to the left, to be able to have the pattern going into the seam so it looks intentional and orderly when the sweater is finished. On the other side of the seam, I want the decreases to go to the right so that they're going into the seam as well. When I'm doing my increases after I finish my waist shaping and then I have to increase again, I want the increases to go in the opposite direction. So it's the same theory. It's just going in the other direction. So you can see, as I said, you can see that in the decreases that I've already done, the stitches are leaning in towards the seam, and you're going to be able to see it more clearly when I do this little setup. So I've just taken a little snippet of the pattern, and this is to the right of the marker. I've already done two decreases. So these two columns of stitches have basically been eliminated now because I've done two decreases, and I'm going to eliminate this third one. So I can check with my motif where I should end if I've done everything correctly. And what I'll be eliminating is this gray square. So my motif should end with 3 light stitches at the seam. So let's make sure that works out. So I'm just going to pick up my knitting, and I'm decreasing using 2 stitches on the end. So I have to knit over to where my decreases start. So I'm going to move this out of the way because it's moving. So I have a blue stitch that was next on the pattern. Then I've got 2 light stitches to follow the pattern. I've got 2 stitches left before the marker. I want to decrease those with a left leaning decrease. So I'm going to use a slip knit. I slip knit wise. Some people slip purl wise. One's right and one's technically not correct. I'm not sure. Mine might even be the wrong one, but I just do it consistently, so it makes a pattern. And now the decision is, what color yarn do I knit with? Because I'm eliminating a stitch. In this case, I want to end my motif with 3 light color stitches. So I've got 2. I'm going to use the light yarn. So it keeps my motif intact. And I hope you can see this, but the stitch that you see on the surface is leaning into where the purl stitch will be. Just going to slip my marker. This is all stretching out a little bit just because I'm trying to show it clearly for the demonstration. So I do my purl stitch, creating my faux seam, move the next marker, and now I want these first 2 stitches to lean to the right when I do the decrease. So that's knit 2 together. So knit 2 together ends with an R, so that's right leaning. That's how I remember it. And to keep the checkerboard pattern intact, let's just put that back on. I should be eliminating a blue stitch. So that means that I'm going to knit the decrease with the light yarn. So it's really simple. Just knit 2 together with the light yarn. Then I do another stitch, and then I'm at a blue stitch. And when I flatten this out and you can look at it, you can see that the motif is now intact. The blue stitch has disappeared, and then I have the 2 white stitches there, so that will continue. And as the decreases go up the side, it'll move the pattern into the center, which is what I want. I think that's it. All right.
Great.
So that was that. It's super simple.
Okay.
And probably pretty intuitive, but if you just have to think about it. All right.
That's you.
That's me.
You're
done. Yeah.
Okay, I realize now we should have done FOs first because this is going to be a bit weird.
Yes, that's what I was
Right.
kind of hinting at.
But
anyway.
it wasn't in that order on
People-
the thing, and I have
people-
trouble straying from the plan.
People are used to weird with us anyway.
Yeah, okay, well, it's not really weird, but obviously I finished this, but we'll talk about that later because
Yeah.
we're doing whip and rip. So what I'm up to now, so I haven't done anything with this, but I need to put longer needles on it because it's way too squished in.
Or you can just extend the cord.
I'm going to extend the cord, that's
Right.
what I mean. But I'm back to this Tarradale hat.
Yeah.
So I should definitely be able to finish this by next episode.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who don't remember, we'll show a little photo of it. It's from the Kate Davies Malarkey Heeds book, and I adore it.
Which we have in stock.
Yeah,
If you're
and it looks
interested.
like it's going to be small, but I think it's actually just the size of the cord.
Okay.
I think it's going to let go a lot.
Yes. It's deceiving when that happens.
Once
when
I
the
get it
stitches get tight.
unfettered here. So just in terms of future knitting plan, this. And then that's going to be my fun and easy thing. And then, not that this isn't fun, but I'm back to Flatrock. Because I absolutely must finish this sweater. My worst fear was that I was going to take this out and a moth or something had eaten it. Because I had a mouse eat a swatch of mine. My darkness swatch. It was beside my bed. And
It was
there was
a
like a
dark
giant hole in it. Like, what? There are way too many people living in this house. Critters.
Too many souls.
There's a creature living in the motor housing of my bathtub.
How do you know that?
You can hear it in there.
Oh my goodness.
So it's behind a tub against a tiled wall. I tried turning the jets on to see if I could evict it. And then somebody, I think it was Rachel, pointed out that I'm just going to turn those on and get electrocuted one day because Lord knows what he's done to renovate in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they find the way to be the most...
Yes.
Now, I haven't really heard him lately, but he's in there. So you're relaxing, up again. And I never run the tub. We got it for $75 used, and it's just it fit the space or whatever. But you're laying, imagine, and then it's right on the other side of the vinyl.
Oh.
In your tub. Yeah. I don't know how
There's so many things that I was thinking to say, but I won't.
About the mouse?
Yeah.
Or about laying in the tub?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. No, about the mouse. But anyway.
Oh, you have to tell me later.
Do you want to borrow Clyde for a night or two?
I don't think she can get to him.
Well, he's not eating in there, so he's got to be getting food somewhere. He's probably running in and out.
Do you think Clyde could take care of it?
I don't know.
He ran out because he ate my swatch.
Yeah.
That's how I got on the topic. Anyway, So what's happening with Flatrock is this is the second, I don't remember if it's the front or the back, but I have one 14-inch piece like this already.
Yeah, so I forgot about that because when you started pulling that up, I was like, oh boy, okay, this is good.
No, this is my second piece.
Yeah.
But honestly, I can probably do an inch a night tops.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense. Mm-hmm. So I'm by no means am I making the proclamation that this is going to be done. This is going to be maybe done by Christmas.
It doesn't matter how often you pull that out.
I know.
It just is so beautiful.
Well, So, I mean, I don't want to lose my hard work. I'm obviously going to finish it. I've never not finished a project except for the Saint Lunaire one because I just couldn't get the fabric I want. I didn't get past the swatching process.
Yeah.
But I could try it again with other yarns. But so it's back. No worries. Going to be carrying on with that as of, tomorrow.
Great.
So that's my knitting plan. So, FOs.
Yes.
Darkness.
Right.
So, I love knitting with a 5.5 millimeter. This did go quite fast, even though it's obviously very long. And I can't really show it very well full length on here. But I love it.
Yes.
So, in terms of project satisfaction, there's not a wrong stitch in it.
Yeah.
I literally didn't make any mistakes. And it fits perfectly.
Yes.
So I don't get to say that very often. So I'm super
And you didn't
pleased
make any
with it.
adjustments. It fit perfectly.
I didn't do anything.
Right.
It fit perfectly. I mean, it's fairly forgiving because of the
Structure.
style of the design.
Yeah.
It fits me in the shoulders. Now, I mean, they would probably be a little roomier on other people, but it fits fine. And the sleeve length, I didn't have to adjust it.
No.
Very unusual for me, really.
Yeah.
And I always would like them a little bit longer. I probably, if I had thought about it for a long time, I
Well,
might have
that's
made
a proper arm
Yeah,
length, but
I just kind of sometimes, maybe I would have had it down to there, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, it's perfect. And the hood was like fun. And Andrea's got the tutorial, so you're able to follow along with that.
Yeah.
But the last thing you do is put the sleeves in. And I did that 4 times. And the reason for that is, and I could hear Andrea's voice in my head as I was doing it saying, make sure you stop and check everything, or like pin it together and then make sure that you've got the right side out, blah, blah, blah. But I, of course, ignored her.
Yeah.
Because...
Who's that chattering in the background?
Right. I was like, inside out. Sewed the sleeve in.
Does she think I'm an idiot?
Went to try it on. The sleeve was inside out. And I was nervous about sewing with this yarn because it literally is just like a fuzzy caterpillar. There's no plies to it. Like it's just like a fuzzy fuzz.
Yeah.
And the sewing part was pretty okay. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It actually did pull through fairly easily.
Would you recommend not taking a too long a piece though?
Well, sure, because it gets...
Although what
Clumpy.
what happens when you're sewing with a regular twisted yarn is that it starts to untwist. In this case, it didn't because it's not twisted.
No, but you're running the risk of getting the tail caught around.
Oh, okay.
And, I mean, I use fairly long pieces, but you know me, I'm crazy like that.
Yeah, this is a tube with the fiber blown into it, right?
I think
so
something
it doesn't.
like that.
It's not twisted. Okay.
Yeah. So the sleeve was inside out. So I was like, ugh. So I get out, my glasses and the darning needle, and I'm going to try to pull this out. It goes in okay. You cannot get the sewing out. It was impossible. Number one, I couldn't see what to put my darning needle in, not by any stretch, even with my good glasses on.
Yeah.
There was no finding where to pull the stitch.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to separate it and cut it all the way around, which was so risky because I thought I was going to ruin the top of my sleeve cap. Obviously, you would easily make a mistake and cut your sleeve.
Yeah. Which is what happened when I was fixing Ken's sweater. Luckily, I still had room to unravel, but I did clip a couple of the stitches.
You cannot pull the sewing out. It was like literally impossible. And I had done such a good job. It was so tight.
Yeah.
Like the two pieces were so tightly joined together. I started to panic like, oh my God, like I can't get it apart now. The first one probably took me like 20 minutes to get it back apart.
Yeah. Wow.
Fixed that problem, re-sewed it in.
Perfect.
Good. This was all this morning, by the way.
Yeah.
Get to the second sleeve. Make sure it's not inside out. Done. Line up the seams, blah, blah, blah.
I have to tell you that when I came over to check on you, your hands were shaking while you were did your first few stitches.
No wonder. I was probably shaking with fury.
Oh. I was like, oh. It's a little tense. I think I'll just go back home. See ya.
Because I'm like, what other mistake could possibly... I do this a third time, I'm seriously going to lose it. So I'm like, line up the seams. So I'm lining up these seams here, right? No. I lined this seam up with this seam. Went all the way around. Again, ignored Andrea on my shoulder saying, probably you should stop after a few stitches. Turn that right side out and make sure it's not inside out.
Because you backstitch, not mattress
and it's not upside down. I backstitched. That just made it even worse.
Yeah.
Trying to get it out.
Inside out.
Plus you can't see. Yeah, like if you were mattress stitching, you'd see I'm on the right side of both. I'm not doing it inverted.
Yeah.
Got all the way around. Finished it off, sewed it in, went to try it on. I was like, why is the sleeve so short? The sleeve cap was under here. I don't even know how I did it. The only mistake I didn't make was sewing the cuff to the sleeve opening. I made all the mistakes.
Yeah.
But I now know how to prevent both of those things.
How many set-in sleeves have you actually done now? This is your first one.
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
You have to make all the mistakes.
Yeah.
Stop worrying about it. Everybody's like, I love that you admit your mistakes. No, you have to make all of the mistakes. That's how knitting works.
Yeah.
You can't miss one.
No.
The only other thing I could have done was sew the two sleeves together.
Yeah.
But you know what I realized what happened when I mixed up the seams? I mixed up these two seams. So I was actually holding the sweater upside down.
Oh, okay.
That's how it happened. The sleeve I had going the right way, but the sweater itself, like with the hood and everything, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah. So it would be great if somebody invented something that you could use to attach your pieces together before you say...
Yeah, pins.
No. How about coconut claw clips?
Right. I could have used... it would be great if someone would just look at what they're doing before they finish it. That would also help.
Yeah.
Like, I do make that mistake every project.
What?
Not checking. Like, not being like, let's just hold on here for a second.
Yeah,
let's
take
check
a minute.
and make sure it's not upside down.
Yeah, or inside out. Or it's the right leg.
Anyway, off I go. When you came in, I was doing it for the fourth time. Like, I was sewing in the second time.
No, it was the second one for the first time. You were just getting ready to go, and you were
I just don't like sewing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was my first set-in sleeve.
It looks fantastic.
So I've got that done now. I've made all the mistakes with set-in sleeves.
Yeah.
So I'm learned now.
Yeah.
I'm very learned in how not to sew in a set-in sleeve. But I did do a nice, tidy job.
It's beautiful. It looks very professional.
Like, I'm going to wear this a ton.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what is the edging on the front?
Just a little bit of ribbing.
Oh, okay. Not picked up.
No.
Oh, okay. It's garter.
So
is it garter
simple.
or?
Yeah, garter maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
So knit both sides.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm honestly, I swear, there's not a single stitch wrong in this thing.
Yeah.
So it's a really fun, easy project. Super practical.
It goes fast.
It goes
it's
fast.
A lot. It's a big garment.
It's light.
It's long. Yeah.
The yarn is beautiful. Mm-hmm. And there are some beautiful colors available in Brushed Fleece. And I think this is why we love Rowan so much.
Yeah.
This will never go out of style.
No.
Like,
it's been published in 2
classic
books.
design. I know.
Yeah.
Couldn't be happier. I hardly ever say that.
Yes, that's good.
It was a totally positive experience, other than the sleeve stupidity, which is just, me doing my thing. I mean, what would we have to talk about if I didn't knit like a renegade?
That's right. So the pattern is only available in the book, though. That's the one. So Myth is the book. So it was launched in Still, I think, and then that book is out of print. Yeah. So now she's relaunched this in Myth, and we have those books.
Yeah, and I am happy with the color. I did want to do the brighter red, but I got vetoed by our audience. Yeah. But now I'm pretty happy that I have it in this color.
Yeah. So we have all of the colors that Brushed Fleece makes, except for one, which is Peak. So don't look at Peak if you're looking at the colors. Yeah. But which is kind of a turquoisey, dark, moody turquoise. Right. Is the one that we're missing. But the navy blue grotto, I think it's called. It's beautiful too. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would look great in any color, and I just love it.
Yeah.
I'd love to have
it would be good in colors the off-white.
Yeah.
Well, any color. All the colors are really
nice. And I love the hood.
Yeah.
And everybody said it would turn out huge, but it's not even a smidge too big.
And did you have to change your needle size to get gauge?
I went to 5.5, and the needle recommended is 6. Okay. And Andrea did hers in 5, which I'm surprised. But the great thing about it is you don't wet block it. I just steamed it. Yeah. So my knitting gauge was actually my true gauge. Right. So that made it pretty perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Like I didn't have to block my swatch, and then the mouse ate it. So that would have been impossible as it turns out.
You just steamed your swatch.
I think I actually did wash and block it.
Oh, okay.
But no, I didn't.
Okay.
I don't think I did. I don't know what I did. Anyway, it turned out perfect.
So just, we were going to talk about our little adventure that we had this morning with my Sunday cardigan.
Oh, yeah. How come you're not wearing it?
Well, because I forgot.
Oh, okay.
So, do I want to go get it or not bother?
Nah, it's all right. Okay. They'll get the idea. But I'm going to show a picture of what it looked like before we started our experiment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't know if we'll take a picture after or not. But anyway, so what happened with the Sunday cardigan is, as you know, I did the swatch. I went down a needle size to get the fabric that I wanted in the swatch, carefully labeled the swatch and did everything that I was supposed to do. And then I knit it with the wrong needle. So it ended up big. Then on top of that, all the comments started coming in about the sizing, and that Jennifer had the experience that her Sunday cardigan didn't have as much ease as she wanted. I started to panic that I didn't have it big enough. So I added stitches. So now I'm knitting with a 7mm needle instead of a 6mm needle. And I've added stitches under the arms. And I finished my sweater. And it was pretty big and loose. And then, if you see the picture...
I think you should go get it.
Okay.
Go get it. Yeah.
So it got even bigger as I wore it. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
So
it looked sloppy. That's where we were in the story.
It was really, really comfortable to wear around the house, and you could wrap it around you like your personal blanket, which is the thing right now. But I wouldn't wear it out. After the second time I wore it, it was getting sloppy looking. So Jennifer, the fearless Jennifer, had a suggestion, which was, go ahead.
Well, my suggestion was to wash it in hot water, rinse it in cold, and then throw it in the dryer.
In other words, felt it.
Yeah, but we only did half of that so far.
Yeah, but it's good now.
It's good now?
It's good now.
For sure, okay.
Yeah.
So we wet it in cold and then threw it in the dryer for like the full cycle until it was completely dry.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know that when you're there's some patterns for projects where you actually knit it and felt it on purpose to get the size. And I know that it's usually about 25%. So I knew by the look of the sweater that I had at least 25% that I could afford to lose on the width. Still pretty scary, I have to say. Throwing it in the dryer, the washing in cold water was all right, but the throwing it in the dryer, I was like, oh my goodness.
I had no doubts, because we already did it with Rachel's.
Right.
She had the same problem. She was so happy with it after.
Yes.
Everybody will be drying their Sunday cardigan in the dryer now.
So I'm going to try it on, and you're going to see, already saw the picture from before we did it.
Yeah.
So I still wanted it big, because that's the way that it's
cozy.
supposed to be.
Yeah, it's substantially shorter.
Yeah.
It's much better.
Yeah. And the only thing is my button band is a little tiny bit wonky now when I do this top button, which it wasn't before. But you can see how it fits around the neck.
Mm-hmm. I think this is a pattern that just begs to have a few extra buttons.
Yeah. Well, I did put an extra couple, but I... Anyway.
So now you're happy with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Fearless.
Yeah. You have to
go for it.
Anyway, my thinking was, if it goes too far, then I'll give it to Jennifer.
Oh, damn. I wish it had not worked out now then. I wasn't even thinking that. I would have been thrilled.
But look, it's perfect.
Okay, good.
Do you think?
Well, yeah.
I wouldn't make it smaller.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
As long as you're happy with it, but we can always do cold followed by hot, or hot followed by cold if you really want to bring it home.
I think it's good. Okay. So, part of the issue with this whole project is the Garfield Grizzly, you never really know exactly what the fiber content is. So it's always got wool, it's always got like a mohair in it, and it's got like a alpaca maybe. But, so, it's a little bit unpredictable. But in the case that it's too big, I'm happy that my problem was that it was too big and not too small. But...
Because now you're saying I should start wearing mine, and it might fit perfectly after a week.
Yeah.
But I really tried to stretch it when I blocked it, so I'd be surprised if it stretched out from wearing. But, I can try it.
Well, I'm telling you...
Because you didn't have to wear it for more than a few hours before it let go.
No. And, you saw the sleeves. I don't know if you got it in the picture or not. But that stretched out just from... I turned up the cuffs like this for literally... those are a lot shorter than they were. Literally for... 4 hours I was wearing it, and it made them almost like a belt.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try mine. I'm going to wear it.
Yeah.
Now I sold the buttons off it. I'm going to get another button. Okay.
Anyway,
that's great.
It still feels fantastic. Cleaning the dryer afterwards with the mohair fluff everywhere was something different. But anyway, it just feels so good.
Okay, well, saved.
I want another one in a flannel gray, I think.
Yeah, I really want gray too.
Yeah, soft gray.
Dueling gray Sunday cardigans someday when we get on here.
Yeah.
Because it is really fast. You can do it into 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
We might have it next time. No, I'm doing my Flatrock.
All right. So there, that's what I would call extreme knitting, sort of.
It's another RFO.
Yeah, another RFO. We're getting all kinds of...
brought in from the brink. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, it's shop update time.
Wow.
Okay. So, we are going to go in order. ROWAN Magazine 68.
In the house.
In the house. We didn't list this last time.
No.
I don't know why. Anyway. So, I mean, stunning patterns. And I put literally almost every pattern that's in here, and I forget how many there are, on the listing. So if you go to the listing, you can see almost everything.
All the pictures, you mean?
Yeah.
Of the patterns.
Yeah, but we should probably do a slideshow for this.
Okay. I'm not suggesting it.
I know.
You said
It's
no.
a lot of work, but if you're going to do it. All right. So ROWAN 68. Here we go. All right. So, I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Literally, you thought I was nervous sewing my sleeve in. My palms got sweaty and I was having like heart palpitations looking through this because there were so many things that I don't have time to make.
Yeah.
That it got a little overwhelming. And this is one of my favorites.
Yes, nice.
And this one here.
Right. So, I just want to, being the one that does most of the ordering of the stock, I just want to say a couple words about this. So, we have every single color of felted tweed in stock. A lot of them we have in sweater quantities, especially the ones that are featured. So, if you're looking at these patterns and it's something with felted tweed, we probably have a sweater quantity or 2 or 3 in stock. The Alpaca Classic, however, is available, but I looked at some of the favorite things that we liked. I know that I don't have more than 1 or 2 sweater quantities of the colors. So what I would say is that if you want to order a sweater quantity from here and you don't see enough on the on our website, send us a little note and I can confirm if we can get it or not. Okay. And the turnaround time from Rowan is really, really quick when they're in stock. So Alpaca Classic, the last time I had an inventory list from Rowan, is they had everything in stock. I just didn't order as many because there's so many colors that are used in here. Right. I couldn't just order 12 bags of everything. But if you want to place an order and it's not showing as in stock in our website, don't let that stop you. Just send us a quick note about what you want to.
We are going to be getting them all anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's ROWAN Magazine 68.
So we are going to do another little kit.
Right.
With the magazine and the yarn to make a project, and the project we're going to do is this one. So that's
called Kinross.
Kinross. So these are the colors in the Alpaca Classic.
Okay.
This yarn is really like soft and lovely too.
Into it.
Yeah.
So is it 1 ball of each?
No. There's several. Okay. Yeah. So the main color, obviously, you've got a few. So we'll set that up as a kit on the website.
Perfect.
So the kit will include the magazine and the yarn. So when you take a look at that, then that's the deal on that.
Okay, lovely. And then, before we go on, we decided to do another kit out of this one.
Yes.
And this is a scarf called Hughes.
Yeah, it's magazine 66, so it's the same magazine that has Huxley that I'm knitting.
I don't know how they come up with so much beautiful stuff. I'm just finding it, although I can actually just show a picture, but I always like to hold it up in the book too.
Yeah.
So this purple and green confection here.
Yes. So
lovely.
I have to tell you the story of this.
Right.
We had a customer that was here on Prince Edward Island. She's not from here, but she spent the whole summer here. And she wanted to make a scarf. So she wrote to me and said, do I have the yarn for this scarf or whatever? This is not the scarf she wanted, but this is the scarf I wanted. So I pulled the yarns for that scarf by mistake. And I was just oh my.
Dreamy. Was it the blue and green one she wanted to make?
Yes.
Okay, so she's making this one.
Yes.
Which is called Pullman.
Yes.
Okay, but you thought she should make this one. That's how we roll. Oh, you don't want to make that. You don't want
I like this one. I like this one. Okay. So this is, when I put these balls in her bag, I was like, I couldn't stop looking at them. Like, just look at this. So you've got felted tweed and Kidsilk Haze in this color combo.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
It looks luscious too. Like, it'll be really soft and squishy.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's really, really beautiful.
So there's a kit for this also listed in the show notes.
Which will include the magazine in the price.
Called Hughes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So that's
it is dreamy.
It is it's really something else.
Cute.
Yeah.
It's reminds me a little bit of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas or something, but like I love it.
I thought it reminded me of my Roman hat.
Oh, if it had been nice.
Yes, if I had done it in the color. So guess what I'm going to do?
Yeah, this in felted tweed.
Yes.
You do it. It'll work.
Yes, it'll work.
I can tell you from knitting the pabai that this will work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's the right colors. Okay. I'm going to have my little green thistle.
That this week?
No.
Okay.
I'm not making any promises, but for sure I have a solution to making that hat properly. Because I really do like that hat.
Yeah.
So, that's
lovely.
It. Okay.
Solving problems left, right, and center.
Yeah, I really have to take this sweater off.
Wow, whereas I'm perfectly comfortable.
Yeah.
I love my light, fluffy alpaca thing here.
This is really...
Okay, good. So that's the kits. Now, we've been making sock yarn like crazy, trying to.
Yeah.
So our sock yarn is in stock.
Yeah.
And we're listing the neon sock kit.
Okay.
So I put some of those up. If you recall, this is what it looks like. And they're very popular, but we have to make other things.
Yeah.
We can probably make neon sock kits all day long.
Right.
For weeks on end and not satisfy everybody. But I've just relisted a bunch.
Yeah.
So everybody shut off the video and go grab your kit, which is what I know you're going to do.
So we will try to, we're going to see how it's going. Now that the things are going much faster because of the retrofit of the carter.
Okay.
So we'll try to keep them in stock as much as we can.
We might leave it listed.
Maybe.
Okay.
So if it goes beyond the 2-week window, which is the time that we give us, then maybe we'll decide then what's going to happen.
So I think what we might do is I'll list what we can make right away, and then once those sell out, I'll put it back up in pre-order.
Okay.
If you really want it that badly, there's a fly in here, and it's probably making the camera refocus. So somebody noticed that last time it happened, and they're like, "It's a glitch." No, it's the fly, and the camera is trying to find out what's moving.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll put it on pre-order, and then it's like allow 4 weeks for us to get it to you, if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So if it's a pre-order, it'll take longer than the 2 weeks.
Right.
But the first batch we'll put up, we'll get out within the regular 2-week window that we promise to get all of our orders out. Because we do dye stuff to order. So that's why it takes 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Although, so just so everybody's aware, nobody's disappointed with how long it's going to take. Mm-hmm. All right.
And we actually had a comment. There is a neon sock kit thread in the project thread on the R4. Yeah, it's taken on a life of its own. And there's people in there sharing patterns about that would look great in the sock using the sock kit. Yes.
I love it.
We love it. We do love it. We do love it.
We do, absolutely.
So
as long as you don't mind pre-ordering it, we will make them all day long.
Yeah. So somebody had actually found the pattern called "Love Grows Here" by Cali Monster. It's in Ravelry, and it is the perfect. If you don't want to make socks with the neon sock kit, this is a really nice.
So obviously, we're showing a picture of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely.
So that's you can go check that out. All right.
Exciting. So we just want to a couple things. We got in more Arne and Carlos books. So we already had the cushion collection.
Yeah. I want to talk about this for a second because I don't know if you realize this because I didn't.
Well, then definitely not.
I actually took some time to really look at this book very closely because I think there's a couple projects in here that I wouldn't mind knitting.
Okay.
And every project has 2 versions.
Yes, no, I did know there were versions because it was kind of confusing when I was trying to pull the yarn for somebody.
Yeah. So you have, it goes by the shape of the cushion.
Yeah.
And then you have a Fair Isle version and you have a Intarsia version.
Okay. Yeah, it was really, I was trying to pull yarn for somebody who wanted to make one or the other, and I was like, it looks like this one, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really, really nice how they did it. And you can knit a plain back on all of them, but you could also knit the
pattern.
Yeah. So here, see what they did? They're so smart. Yeah. On this cover, it's all the Intarsia ones.
Right. Okay.
Not all of them, but those are the examples of Intarsia ones.
Okay.
And on the back, you have the same cushion, but with it in the Fair Isle version. They're different colors. They're not meant to be
it's just
like
how
versions.
They're organized.
It's just how they're organized. So you actually, this is such a great book.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
It's really nice. So that's that.
The
and we have all the
collection.
yarns for those.
Yeah, we definitely have all the yarn for the cushion. We got Christmas balls to knit.
The new version, which is a soft cover.
Cover, yeah.
And they've updated their picture.
Yeah, I actually thought we had the hardcover for some reason.
I have the hardcover.
No, I know. Yeah. They updated their picture. Yeah, they talked about that at the event, right?
Yeah.
Or was that on a call that we had?
I don't know.
No, I think they talked about it at the event, updating the photo, which is funny. They look better, but they had less hair. Is that what they said?
Well, they have different hair.
Different hair.
Yeah.
Oh,
their hair was a lot shorter.
Your hair's fine.
the hair was a lot shorter. But I have to, if anybody follows Arne and Carlos, Arne is very upset because since he had COVID, his hair went straight.
Oh.
So he's trying to get his
What?
Yeah.
Won't happen with that thing.
He's trying to get his curls back. So he mentions it almost every single episode. It's funny.
Imagine.
But he still had his curls.
I've heard that happening during pregnancy.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. It becomes curly.
Yeah, he wasn't pregnant. He had COVID.
No, not similar.
No.
So then once you have your balls, you can also get your birds. Book. So we've got you covered.
Yeah.
So the field guide to knitted birds.
This is so cute.
Yeah. I know you're super enthusiastic.
I love it.
I wouldn't knit a bird, but I mean...
Oh my God. They're so cute. But you don't have to do all the color work on these teeny birds.
No.
You do duplicate stitch.
Yeah.
For their little sweaters and stuff.
They're cute. Don't get me wrong. It's just, what do I need a bunch of birds for?
It's
For your
hilarious.
Christmas tree or...
Your
I
tea
like
cozy.
the ones with the feathers of... You put it on top of your tea cozy?
Yeah, I think there's a... Anyway.
I like with the sequins. I mean, we're getting super fancy. All right. I mean, it's obviously an adorable book. I just can't add birds. Oh, it is on top of the tea cozy. Oh. Okay.
And I didn't even know that this one existed.
Okay. Well, this is a treasury.
Yes.
I mean, this is amazing. So this is all of their favorite designs, like their greatest hits from a while ago. And there's a ton of stuff in here.
I know, it's crazy.
Like a ton of... Look, there's a dog sweater and cardigans and doll clothes and like...
Yeah, and there is...
Slippers, pretty.
Yes,
yeah.
And they just talked about this book in their latest episode because there's a doll in here that you have there's a couple birds. There's
some balls.
There's some balls. So you get a little sampling. It's like the taster plate.
Right. Yes. It's
mice.
Wonderful.
Look.
Yeah, that's super cute. Now that I might... Like what? Yeah. For your tree, that would be
Yeah,
lovely.
you can make a rendition of the one that's living in your bathtub.
Yeah, if I don't just string him up and hang him on there.
Yeah. So there's look.
Oh. Wow. So seriously, like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So if you're an eclectic knitter, this book is for you.
And this sweater with the cat on it, that was their block for the last sit and knit a bit.
Oh, okay.
So they made a block out of that, but they tell you how to make the little sweaters. There's socks. There's everything. Look.
There's another bird on a tea cozy.
Yeah.
Super cute.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's like
I
a
love
handle.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so this is called Arne Carlos Favorite Designs.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Arne
It's a
Carlos
hardcover
collection.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I don't know anything about this one, so you...
No. I don't really know anything about it, but a customer asked for it, so here it is.
Okay. Oh, good.
Yeah, so it's make your own idea book.
It's like an inspiration journal kind of thing.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, neat.
Like mood boards and stuff like that.
If I had more time, yeah. So
but you're into this stuff more
I'm
than I am.
I'm into it, but I just have no
Look,
time.
stencils made by lace. There's all kinds of stuff in here.
Gosh, they're super talented.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's really... he's got clamps and everything. Okay.
They're serious, like, creative
crafters.
geniuses.
Yeah.
Crafters. Yeah. So cute.
Yeah. So we have...
I just love it. Like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Just to sit and read it would be fascinating, would it
Yeah.
not? They've got some design inspirations and things.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So we have that. And
that's a lot of Arne and Carlos.
Yeah. So they're going... So we've got the whole... We did the deep dive on Arne and Carlos.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you've been looking for those books.
It's what's remarkable about what they're doing is that they do everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
From mice to like high fashion sweaters. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not precious at all.
No.
Like they just
super eclectic.
Yeah, and such good designers of garments, and then do do fun things and
3-dimensional birds and things.
Yeah,
like
it's fantastic.
They're all
So we're
in.
really
Okay.
really happy to support them. That's great.
Definitely. Well, obviously they bring lots of joy.
Yes.
With their podcast and everything.
Yeah.
So certainly.
All right. But that's not all.
Not all. So we went into another book foray. And we actually have a lot more of these than I thought for some reason. I think I may have entered the wrong amounts on our website, but I'll double check it. So we are also big fans of Marie Wallen, obviously. Yeah. And we have a special fondness for this one because Andrea knit a couple things out of here that I covet so badly. Actually, she knit a few.
Yeah.
Like that blossom sweater. Does everyone remember that one? She had like 72 ends.
Yeah.
That was this one.
Yeah.
Love it. So that's in this book. And Andrea also knit this one on the front. So we have that. Marie Wallen.
Amaryllis
Springtime.
is the name of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that in a different color scheme. It was like a kind of like a rusty brown.
Yeah.
And then cream for the amaryllis. Oh, it was really, really nice.
Pretty.
Somebody posted that project.
And then North Sea. So these both use primarily felted tweed.
Yes.
Or exclusively
so
felted tweed.
springtime has some felted tweed stranded with Kidsilk Haze.
Okay.
Not for roses and stuff like that, but all of the sweaters have felted tweed in them.
Okay.
As a main yarn.
Yeah. And this one on the cover is my favorite.
Yeah.
In the North Sea book. I don't want to like crack the spine.
Yeah.
But it's also on the cover. And so this uses felted tweed.
Yeah.
So if you want, if you've been coveting the Marie books, I think they're fairly hard to find in North America. And we had to have them shipped from
the UK.
Yeah. So we have those. Now these two use Jameson's?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of, I think so. They might actually use, Marie Wallen has her own yarn too.
Oh,
so.
One of them does British Breeds.
Breeds, yeah.
So this one's Gentle, is using the British Breeds.
Yeah.
Makes sense that Shetland would be Jameson's.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
So these are just full of beautiful designs.
Yeah.
And I'll put a lot of pictures up on the listing. I can't do a slideshow for every book we've shown today because it would just be slideshow crazy. But the use of color in these, actually I think the one on the cover of this one's my favorite too. Like imagine if you knit that for someone and they shrunk it. Just stunning, really nice books.
Yeah.
And these two are quite a bit larger than the other ones, but they are sort of investment pieces, but they're classic designs. That's my favorite one in this one.
The Burra cow.
Well, the one that I think you just went past it. Well, this whole, the cowl and the sweater here.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So this one's called Shetland. Actually, I already did load all the images for these. So pretty much every design that's in it is on the listing. So if you want to peruse, that'll make it easy for you to make your decision. Nice matte paper. Like
it's really nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she always uses the same model for years now. I find that fascinating. She doesn't smile a lot, but I'm sure she's a lovely woman. It's part of the style. All right. That's quite the shop update.
I know.
I'm tired.
It's a book extravaganza.
Okay. So we have an ask. The big book bonanza. Same as this time last year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We love books.
Yeah. We're really,
like,
our
this
library
is us being
really,
like, we want all the books. And then we just bring you in on our little nasty habit.
Yeah. That's right.
Basically.
So I just, they're, it's fun to have them and you can look at them.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine just even sitting down with that book with a cup of tea, how cozy you'd feel.
Dreaming of what you were going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hannah's
tired of us talking. She's actually covering her ears with paws.
Yeah. So
she's like, will they never?
Shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah. All right. So that's about it. So we just had one question, and this one is over to you, Jennifer.
Okay.
This was on the forum.
Oh, God,
actually, I think it was on the forum or on Ravelry. I can't remember. But when our PK,
the results of the stock experiment. I'm still at the 10 days. If I could remember to bring them in from the mill, which I need to do because I need socks. I legitimately am out of wool socks in the house.
Okay.
So I know I've said this before, but I'm absolutely going to bring them in this week and start wearing them for chores again.
Yeah.
And then that'll be the test.
Right.
I believe we're at 9 or 10 days.
10, I think.
10. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to start the count from there. Scout's honor. I'm on it. Okay. And before I get questions about the crochet bikini, it's still on my list, but I have nowhere to wear the bikini now because we can't travel. So understand my lack of sense of urgency with the bikini.
Yeah.
And with the way the weather is around here, I wouldn't even want to try it on.
No.
Let alone wear it anywhere.
Yeah.
So it will get done when I have somewhere to wear it. So
is there anything else that we said we were going to do that we didn't?
I don't
but
think
rain,
so.
I had already swatched for rain.
Yeah.
I need to change the needle size and swatch again, but this is a lame excuse given that I own a yarn shop, but my needle size that I need to use is in my other project, so I just
take another.
Yeah, well, I probably could, but
and I need to get my Tarradale length sorted out, or that's going to be excruciating.
Yeah,
the right needle, the right tools.
That's right.
So key.
Somebody wrote to us and asked about yarn not slipping easily over the needles.
Yeah, relax.
If you're knitting tight, so there's a couple reasons why that could be. So if you're knitting with wood is
it's a bit stickier.
It's a bit stickier, and if you're using a rustic yarn, the rustic yarn is a bit stickier, and then you're using a wooden needle. Unless the needles are like super slick, like varnished, whatever, it's gonna be, which makes wooden needles good for some projects. If you've got a really slippery yarn.
It sounded to me like it was just really tight.
Maybe
you need to just loosen up.
So when Ken knits, his knitting is very, very neat, but you cannot move those stitches on his needles because he's got them so tight. I don't know
how he does it. I would have cramps in my hand.
I know. I couldn't stand it. It even bugs me when he asks me to help him fix something because you cannot move those stitches.
So I don't know if this person's like a continental or a thrower, but like I used to knit a bit like that. Sometimes I'd literally get tense.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just when you're throwing or whatever, just kind of just loosen up a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you might want to, and I find that the stainless steel Chiagos are the right proportion of slickness to if they're really slippery.
Yeah.
The other thing is I wasn't sure from her question if it was the Kidsilk, because she's doing a Sunday cardigan. I think that it might also be that the Kidsilk Haze is going in the join of the needles that she's using. So if you have a set of needles that don't have like a perfectly smooth join in an interchangeable set, that can be a problem as well.
Yeah, definitely go with Chiago for that.
Yeah,
I never had mine get caught. Did you?
Yeah, no, I've never had them get caught.
Okay. Well, no judgment, but I think you might be a little tense.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's when I was like that, and Ken is like, you know, and it's like it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I can get in that, you know, if I'm tense, and then it's just so painful trying to get anything done. Like it's not a good. I mean, everybody has their own individual tension, and it's whatever your personal.
But if you can't slide
comfort level is, but that's too much work.
If you can't slide the yarn along a metal needle, then it's too tight.
You're a little bit loosen your tension.
Yeah.
You have the power.
Yeah, exactly.
To knit within reason, you know, as looser.
Yeah.
All right, good. I think that's it.
Wow.
We covered everything.
Yes.
Seems lengthy.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
So just, if you don't mind, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. It's looking bleak for us making our 10,000 subscribers by Christmas. Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen.
We need some help.
People aren't pitying us enough.
Right.
How do we look more pathetic about it? It helps our channel grow.
Yeah.
Which helps us keep going.
Yeah.
So, and it gives this one a thumbs up if you liked it.
Yeah.
Or a thumbs down if you're not a very nice person. And, we should say before we go that a lot of people have written to us about Andrew and Andrea.
Yes, I was going to ask you.
And of course, we're abreast of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're very good friends of ours. And we've been speaking with them, and not to worry, we are totally on board with what's happening.
Yeah, we've been patrons for a long time.
Yes.
So.
And since before we were even featured. We've been patrons. Yeah.
We were patrons from the first episode that we watched.
Yeah. Yeah. So we do encourage everyone to keep reaching out to them with your support if you are so inclined. Yeah. And obviously we're watching and waiting and hoping for the best and envisioning all the positive things, like everybody who adores them, which it's a large group. Yeah. Because they really have done a tremendous amount for knitting. And I would say if you have a knitting podcast right now, chances are they were your predecessor.
Yeah, exactly.
Most likely. So we are, we feel very privileged to know them, and you know, thankful for everything they've done for this community. So just so that we don't get any more notes advising us, we definitely know what's happening.
And we'll just maybe take a little moment to remind, because there was just such a groundswell of support for them and when they made their announcement, and how heartbreaking was that? It was awful. Yeah. But very brave of them for sure. And they have now, there were some GoFundMe campaigns that were started on their behalf, but they've been closed down now. So the ways to help them out, if you want to help them, is through Patreon, in that venue, and also they've set up a PayPal account.
Yeah. So I'll put those links in our show notes as well. Yeah. Hannah says she's had enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Besides that, don't forget to join our forum and the Ravelry group, and you know, thumbs up, subscribe, please. Lots of comments. Yeah. I feel like we're gonna get a few about some of the things that I said.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.